Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another psychiatric and mental health nursing lectures. And for today, we will understand all about the Mental Health Gap Action Program, or what we know as MHGAP. Let's first define what is MHGAP. MHGAP, it stands for Mental Health Gap Action Program. Ito ay ginawa at nabuo ng World Health Organization kasi ito yung isa sa mga programa or activities na nakita nila as a global initiative to scale up services for mental, neurological, and substance use disorders. Ito ay nabuo dahil ang activity or ang programa na ito is applicable for those recognized low-income and middle-income countries. Ang Pilipinas ay kasama sa mga bansa na kung saan highly recommended ang implementation ng program na ito and specifically to address mental health problems. The goal of the program is to narrow the treatment gap. Ibig sabihin, ito yung difference between those na nangangailangan ng care or ng intervention and dun sa mga nakakatanggap nito. MHGAP is a lifeline framework, especially for us here in the Philippines, Filipino nurses na they're the one bridging the mental health service gap. By applying the MHGAP guidelines, Filipino nurses can detect, manage, and refer patients accordingly with mental health conditions, ensuring compassionate and evidence-based care in both hospital setting and community setting. Now, MHGAP in the Philippine context, this is an integration into primary care and community health centers to strengthen mental health services, especially within barangays, within communities. Ibig sabihin lamang nito, ipinapakita or ipinapaliwanag ng MHGAP to the Filipino community that this is not just for psychiatric institutions or hospitals. This is a program designed to be embedded in barangay health stations, in rural health units, and primary care clinics in our communities. Nurses and barangay health workers are trained to screen, counsel, and refer patients with mental health problems or concerns. Ibig sabihin nito, kahit na sa mga maliliit na baryo o barangay, kahit na walang psychiatrists, ang mga individuals or ang mga pasyente, maaari pa din silang maka-access with the basic mental health services. Let's say, for example, a person living in a barrio manifesting signs and symptoms na may kinalaman sa mga psychosis behaviors, maaari na siyang ma-assess, ma-evaluate ng isang trained nurse or barangay health nurse or barangay health worker based on sa program, based on the guidelines and protocols presented or written within the MHGAP. Now, the MHGAP, ito po ay ibinangga with the Philippine Mental Health Act of 2018. Ito ang batas na nagmamandate ng integration of mental health into the healthcare system, aligning perfectly with all the stipulations or provisions of WHO MHGAP. It emphasizes community-based care, protection of patient rights, and mental health promotion, not only within the barrios or barangays, but also in institutions such as schools and even workplaces. Nurses are legally empowered to participate in mental health advocacy and service delivery. So, halimbawa, example natin dito, the implementation or the alignment of MHGAP and Philippine Mental Health Act of 2018. Halimbawa, in Quezon City, a school nurse conducts MHGAP-based mental health awareness sessions for the students, fulfilling the law's requirement for mental health promotion in educational setting or institution. Now, there are specific four key principles of MHGAP. The first one is what we identified as task shifting. Ang ibig sabihin nito, it's a training for what we call non-specialist health workers to deliver mental health care. Halimbawa, yung mga general nurses natin or yung mga BHW or barangay health workers, we will we will do capacity building for this group of professionals for them to have the ability or the skill how to help individuals raising their complaints or asking for help dun sa mga manifestations nila affecting their mental health status. Evidence-based guidelines naman refers to the standardized protocols for depression, psychosis, epilepsy, substance use, and suicide prevention. Ito kasi yung mga nakapaloob na mga identified problems or mental health conditions under MHGAP program na itong evidence-based guidelines, ito yung nagiging gabay natin for us to attend to individuals under this diagnosis. What to do with those individuals with this diagnosis. Community integration, gaya nga ng nabanggit natin, embedding mental health services into rural health units or even barangay health stations or mga super health centers within provinces. Supervision and support, these are ongoing mentorship, ensuring ethical, compassionate, and effective case management among individuals na nangangailangan ng tulong pagdating sa kanilang mental health status. Now, these are specific priority conditions of MHGAP. Yung in-identify nating iba't ibang diagnosis kanina. And the table will only simply help us further understand what are those conditions and what will be our role as nurses in this type of activity or in this type of health promotion program. Let's say, for example, one of the priority conditions in MHGAP introduced is depression. In depression class, in this type of condition, us nurses, we can perform the screening. We can also do counseling and the referral of these individuals to other professionals like psychiatrists or psychologists. Let's cite an example, papaano natin magagampanan yung ating tungkulin bilang nurses as one of the priority conditions introduced in MHGAP. Let's say a 19-year-old nursing student in Quezon City reports persistent sadness and poor sleep. Nurses uses MHGAP depression module to assess and refer to a psychiatrist. Second condition is what we call psychosis. Psychosis naman, we can do our role through early detection and medication adherence. Example for us to further understand our task as a nurse in addressing a psychotic patient. A barangay health nurse in Marikina City notices a 25-year-old male with auditory hallucinations. Nurse educates family on medication adherence and stigma reduction. Epilepsy. Epilepsy is also part of the priority conditions in MHGAP. Here, our priority role is to conduct the seizure first aid, specifically for patients manifesting seizure attacks. Medication monitoring as well can also be part of our role, such as in a rural health unit in La Union, a nurse teaches family members how to safely position a patient during seizures. So based on the examples given, you see how basic, how fundamental the nurse's actions or the nurse's roles or tasks to do among those individuals. But it has a very huge impact in saving a life of a person, in helping a Filipino individual within the level of a community. So kahit nasa primary healthcare setting sila, malaking impact pa din itong mga iko-contribute na ginagawa ng mga professionals natin, even not with nurses, but even with barangay health workers. Kasi nga, at a barangay or at a primary level, naaagapan agad natin yung problema. Hindi man siya yung direct and immediate na intervention natin, but it is still part of the management. Let's move on with substance use. For substance use, nurses' role is to conduct screening. And under the screenings, are examples of those screenings are the CAGE and the DAST. We can also perform counseling to help individuals to be in a good direction for their recovery and for their to have a positive outlook. Example, a nurse in Manila screens a jeepney driver using the CAGE tool. This will help determine alcohol dependence and refers the jeepney driver if in case for a treatment program. So based on whatever the result of assessment is, maaari nating matulungan yung individuals for them to have a proper management or whatever appropriate program na kailangan nila for recovery. Last priority condition is the suicide prevention. Here, nurses can perform risk assessment. Nurses can do crisis intervention, such as a third-year nursing student in clinical duty encounters a patient with suicidal ideation. Nurse applies MHGAP suicide protocol and ensures immediate referral. So, very basic, very simple interventions or actions. But then again, nakakatulong or malaking tulong pa din ito in addressing concerns in our society, in our community. However, there are still problems in the Philippines na nakikita natin that affects the mental health status of the Filipino people. The first one is the stigma. Many patients avoid care or avoid seeking help because of the cultural belief na matatag sila as a person na may problema sa kanilang pag-iisip, a person who is acting crazy, a person who will need medications to help their brain function well. So the stigma is there, and sometimes individuals refuse help because they don't want to be recognized as a person having mental health problems. Accessibility. Rural areas still lack of psychiatrists. Kaya nga, we are building the competence and the proficiency and the attitude of those barangay health nurses or those nurses working in the barrio. Same thing with the barangay health workers and the doctors in the barrio for us to fill the gap, for us to create an accessible location or area na mahihingan agad nila ng tulong pagdating sa mental health or pagdating dun sa mga priority conditions na napag-usapan kanina. Resources, yes, of course, in low income, middle income countries, lack of resources is still one of the problems na nakikita natin. Limitation pagdating sa medications, limitation pagdating sa mga units or sa mga centers, therapy centers or facilities, isa yan sa mga nagiging problema talaga natin. That's why with these limitations, accessibility and resources, kahit na ganun ka-skillful yung nurse, if still the materials, equipments, medications na kailangan nila, mahihirapan pa din sila in implementing the appropriate and applicable intervention or action. And last is the need for supervision. Ensuring MHGAP trained nurses apply skills consistently. So dapat may continuous monitoring tayo for those nurses to build competence and be efficient enough in handling the priority conditions. So, mentoring the mentors, importante yung program or activity na yan para ma-ensure natin that those trained individuals are correctly applying MHGAP protocols. Of course, there will be nursing implications pertaining to the MHGAP as one of the action na kailangan ng ating bansa, kailangan ng mga barangay, or ng ating komunidad. Nurses are the frontliners in MH gap implementation. Yes, there are psychiatrists, psychologists, and other professionals dealing with mental health, but in this type of program created by the WHO, mas binigyan natin ng pansin yung kapasidad at kakayahan ng mga nurses to be the frontliners attending to those priority conditions. Nurses must balance clinical skills and the advocacy with the advocacy. When we talk about the clinical skills, ito yung kapasidad or kakayahan nila in performing interventions or actions such as the screening, the counseling, and the referral. Now, when it comes to the advocacy naman, dito naman papasok yung isang bahagi ng pagiging nurse na ang naaapektuhan dito will be the emotion, the behavior, the attitude of the affected individual, the family, the peers, and even the entire community. Na dito, the number one role as an advocate is to reduce the stigma and promote the mental health awareness. And when it comes to MH Gap as a program, as an activity, or as an initiative, it helps empowers nurses to deliver a holistic, community-based care even in resource-limited settings. And that is all about Mental Health Gap Action Program, or MH Gap. Do you have any questions or further concerns, particularly to this type of initiative implemented in our country? So if you do have concerns or questions, you may send it to my email address, acdemesa@fatima.edu.ph. Maraming salamat po.